Okay, welcome back, guys, to Modern Menace. Please like and subscribe because I'm hurting over here. And today we're going to look at Dana Bash try to get a gotcha against Lara Trump. She fails miserably. She looks like a complete fool. She can't go do anything besides go back to the fear mongering of January 6th. It's completely pathetic. All right, let's get started, shall we?
And I'm sure that it was not easy, that it was emotional for you and your family. But as I mentioned, a lot has changed politically since that happened 3 months ago. Can you give me a sense of the state of things on the ground in Pennsylvania where you just were?
Yeah, well, let me just briefly say, Dana, that it really was a beautiful moment yesterday in Butler. And I think it was really important in terms of healing for this country. I don't think any of us will forget, whether you love Donald Trump or not, where you were when you found out what had happened to him on July 13th. And that's a traumatic thing to happen to a country. And I can tell you, when we got off the plane yesterday, I was a little bit emotional. And I got to sit right next to Helen Comparator, Corey Comparator's widow, and his two daughters. And it was a really
She's referring to Trump returning to Butler, where he was shot, which the media completely stopped talking about for some reason. Before, they were saying it's a conspiracy theory that he got shot and this was all some kind of weirdo plot of Donald Trump's. And now they just completely stopped talking about it.
beautiful tribute. And I think it was important for Donald Trump to go back and create new memories for the people of Butler, Pennsylvania. And that's exactly what you saw yesterday. But listen, you're right. The polling would indicate that things are neck and neck. I can tell you there were over 100,000 people at that rally there last night. I have never seen a crowd like that. You couldn't even see standing on the stage how far back the audience went. And I think that shows you that there is continued enthusiasm and growing enthusiasm for Donald Trump. And I think as every day goes by, we are 30 days away from this election. People are really considering what kind of America they want to live in. Do you want to get back to a time where you have great economic policies, where you have more money in your pocket, a secure southern border, and peace agreements instead of wars breaking out around the world? They remember, I think, Dana, who brought them that. It was Donald J. Trump. And that's why I believe on November 5th, he's going to be victorious in this race.
Laura, I want to ask you about something that the former president said last night on that stage, specifically about Hurricane Helene in your home state of North Carolina. He said that FEMA is only offering $750 to Americans who have had their homes destroyed. That's not true. He's also echoing conspiracy theorists online who falsely claim that the administration is redirecting disaster money for undocumented immigrants. That's also not true.
She's lying. Mayorkas has come out and said that FEMA is broke. It doesn't have any money because they spent $1 billion on illegal immigrants and they no longer have money to help these people. And she's referring to the people online saying that they applied for the $750 FEMA grant, whatever it is, and they don't have it. They're getting denied. So she's basically calling those people in North Carolina liars.
Why is he spreading misinformation in a crisis like that? And does that concern you about your fellow North Carolinians and how and whether they could actually get help?
Not to mention, FEMA is blocking people that are coming to bring in supplies to help these people. So they're dropping off Starlink internet routers out there, and they're telling them that if they leave anything there, they're going to confiscate it. FEMA's going to confiscate it. And the people are going to the hotels trying to find a hotel to sleep in and bring their family to get some shelter. And all the hotels that are in the immediate area are rented out by FEMA, the whole thing. So these people are having to go find Airbnbs to stay in. Like, this is ridiculous.
I'm incredibly concerned in North Carolina. I hear every day.
The FEMA is tremendously prepared. This is what we do. This is what they do. And the key here, Rebecca, is also to make sure that the communities who are potentially impacted are prepared. prepared as well.
Several months later,
we're not getting the amount of support that we need.
We haven't seen FEMA, we haven't seen Red Cross, we haven't seen Hearts with Hands, we've seen no agencies come through here. Most people drive through with their cameras out, filming us like we're animals in a zoo, and don't stop.
How could the government do us like this? And how could the whole country just forget about us? Like, it's not enough. What is being done is not enough. I mean, there are entire communities that have been just decimated. There is, I mean, where is our government? I mean, for Kamala, and I am an avid supporter for her to stand in Florida today and make a statement. Where is our government?
Sources say over 1,000 troops in North Carolina are just sitting around doing nothing, waiting for orders that haven't come. They haven't heard from the North Carolina governor, and the Biden administration's blocking ongoing rescue operations.
They're in the way. They are directly interrupting our ability to conduct missions and operations. And I'm not going to disparage anybody, because we are trying to work within partner relationships, both government and non-government entities within state and federal and county. I went to put a couple of people into a hotel last night, and they have a security guard at the hotel. And they said, "Oh, we're so sorry. The entire hotel has been booked for federal employees." And I was like, no, I had people that would just pull out of a mountain that are living out in the hills, and there's not a place for me to put them because we have federal employees that are staying in the hotel. I slept in this white car last night. I smell like foot and death right now, as does every single person on our team.
So here we have a quote from Mayorkas himself. Mayorkas warns FEMA doesn't have enough funding to last through the hurricane season. We are meeting the immediate needs with the money that we have. We are expecting another hurricane hitting. We do not have the funds. FEMA does not have the funds to make it through the season. Now we're going to hear from some of the victims of the hurricane and what they've been dealing with versus what Dana Bash is saying is happening.
No, I'm at the foothills of the Western North Carolina mountains, and everybody in my area that I've talked to, including myself, who applied for the $750 assistance payment from FEMA, has been denied. Okay? Yeah. They've denied us. Okay. So here we sit. We've thrown out all of our food because we had no power for 5-6 days. Some still are without power. Here we sit. Limited resources in the store. And they have denied our $750 resource check. So, yeah. How do you like that?
I just saw the video of Kamala Harris in my hometown, Augusta, Georgia, speaking to people like everything's going to be okay. She's sitting here telling us that go online, apply. Well, okay, hundreds of us still don't have power, internet services. Sure, we can get to it. We can fight. We can apply. We can get on it for immediate assistance. Well, I went on because we split. We went to Columbia right away and got our hotel room. Now, luckily, we're in an Airbnb. This is a place that we get to live. I get to give my kids some hot water, some power, some food, just some comfort, something to help them know that this is going to be okay while our house is back home destroyed and filling up with water. The floors are caving in. Hundreds of people. That's happening to everybody around the city. Like I said, we still don't have water, still don't have power. Slowly it's getting restored, and I think all the linemen that are out there working so hard from all the other states, they're the only ones that are actually getting things done, not the freaking government. Because you're telling us to go online to FEMA and apply, and you're going to immediate help for $750. Well, okay, I went on FEMA, I applied, and I immediately got denied.
Honest, are you kidding me? Joe Biden is the one who's at the beach. And no, wait a minute. Let me finish the sentence.
This is the most infuriating thing. Joe Biden is just on vacation all the time. Where is he? Where are they? Where are our leaders? No matter who you pick, Trump, Kamala, whatever, we just want the Americans to be taken care of. Why are they turning their backs on Americans? It's despicable.
It's okay. Joe Biden was at the beach. The storm hit on Thursday night. He's on the beach. He doesn't even think about going. And you know what? Kemp asked for disaster relief for 99 counties. And Donald Trump was right when he said that they're not giving the Republicans the relief. The Biden administration only gave relief for 11. And then when everybody kicked and screamed, Biden said, okay, we'll give 30 counties.
So now let's get back to CNN and Dana Bash's ridiculous interview where she keeps trying gotchas, stupid gotchas, and Lara Trump just completely outclasses her.
I hear every day from people on the ground there, and they are desperate for help. It is a dire situation there. I actually think we don't even know the extent yet of truly how bad it is there. And look, Kamala Harris did come out and say it's $750 per family right now. The idea that we've spent $650 million in fiscal year 24 on the migrant crisis that Kamala Harris was responsible for stopping, and by all accounts, she created by having an open door policy at our southern border
But
is
Laura,
infuriating.
let me just stop you right there.
Of this country.
Let me just stop you right there because I just want to not let this get out there. You are right that FEMA is giving $750, but that is a first step. It's for immediate needs. It's called the serious needs assistance.
And said that they are out of money in terms of their hurricane relief. We have another hurricane heading towards Florida right now.
What they have said is that there is money
right now. Why don't they have anything in order? Why is it that right now the citizens in Western North Carolina are screaming for help, and it's having to come from local citizens? People from my hometown of Wilmington are driving across the state 6 hours to go to the mountains and help people.
It is bad.
Why is our federal government? Why are they having?
So Dana Bash is trying to gaslight you into saying, "Oh, they're getting $750, but."
It is bad there, but my question is about the misinformation, particularly the notion that they are moving money to migrants, to you say undocumented migrants, which FEMA says flatly is not true. And if people are not getting correct information, then they can't go for assistance as they have been asked for. I just want to quickly play with.
If you believe that they aren't using the money on illegals, you're an idiot.
Senator Tom Tillis.
Let me just say for 1 second.
Go ahead.
You have migrants being housed in luxury hotels in New York City. We have paid so much money from our tax dollars into the crisis that didn't need to happen. We could redirect money to help people immediately on the ground in North Carolina.
They're
in
saying
Florida,
that they
where
have
we're probably going to have a
but that's a
situation
separate.
coming up in the next several days.
That's a separate tranche of money. That's a separate tranche of money. I want you to listen to.
I want you to migrant crisis.
I want you to listen to what
every American. It is a big problem,
but that has nothing to do with the people in your home state right now. I want you to listen to what the Republican senator from North Carolina, Tom Tillis, said about the rescue and recovery efforts.
So now the senators come out of hiding, and of course he's going to say, "We're doing a good job. We are. Believe us. Believe us."
I'm actually impressed with how much attention was paid to a region that wasn't likely to have experienced the impact that they did. For anybody who thinks that any level of government, anybody here, could have been prepared precisely for what we're dealing with here, clearly are clueless. But right now, I'm out here to say that we're doing a good job.
So he and others are saying, please, to the former president and to others, stop spreading misinformation because it's hurting people in North Carolina.
I'm so glad to hear that he feels that way, but it's coming directly from people there. You can go online and you can look at videos of people recording themselves and posting online saying, we need help. No one has come here. We have nothing. And no one has even addressed the situation in my neighborhood or my area. So I'm glad to hear that he feels very good about that. And I hope that we hear more of that. I want them to recover there as soon as possible. And it's tragic, the loss of life that we've already seen. I think that number sadly is going to continue to go higher. And it's a tragedy all around.
I want to turn to something that we learned this week about from prosecutors on Donald Trump's role in trying to overturn.
Here comes the fear-mongering of January 6th. Who cares?
Well, of course, if he feels that this is a free, fair, and transparent election, which, by the way, is my number one goal at the RNC. You mentioned at the top, I am the co-chair of the Republican National Committee, and our number one charge has been trying to make sure that we restore faith in our electoral process. There were a lot of people after 2020 all across this country who felt like maybe they couldn't trust that system. We want to restore the faith in that because it is really foundational, Dana, to who we are as a country, as American citizens. Every vote matters and every vote counts. And we have extended this offer to our friends across the aisle at the DNC. Please, at the DNC, please come join us in this pursuit of election integrity. And so we want every person to feel when they go vote in America, whether they're voting Republican, Democrat, or third party candidate, their vote matters and their vote counts. And assuming everything is free, fair, and transparent, absolutely. If Donald Trump loses this election, he has said himself he will be happy to accept those results.
Part of the reason why people
Now, this is the thing. She shifted that quickly, you see, because she doesn't want to talk. They don't want to talk about our elections because they know that people are starting to find out about how illegals are going. They're going to vote. The Democrats want illegals to vote. They've actively been trying to make it so that illegals can vote. Jamie Raskin has come out and said, oh, anyone who believes that they're a citizen at the time, they should be able to vote even if they don't know they're not a citizen. What does that even mean? And now we got another, don't worry, I got another video later today about Gavin Newsom and how he just signed a bill making it so that it bans ID to go vote. So no one has to show any kind of ID, just walk in and vote. No one, like, what is this? How is a border state gonna sign a bill saying that you don't need an ID to vote? Just ridiculous, man. And if you don't know, illegals are already voting. They are, because how do you think we come up with getting senators and getting people in Congress? It's called the census.
are so unsure about what happened in 2020 is because Donald Trump claimed that it wasn't a free and fair election. And there's no evidence to prove that.
Yes, there
There
is.
were, 60 lawsuits where lawyers like the ones that you're hiring went through the process, which he had every right to do. And there was no evidence of widespread fraud. His attorney general, Bill Barr, said that again. So it sounds like you're setting up the same question of free and fair when that is what we saw. So again, do you see a scenario where he will take a different approach this election year?
Well, we are setting things up differently from the RNC standpoint. And we, instead of having to respond days, weeks, or months later to any issue that we might have, are going to have people in the room every time a vote is cast and counted so that we can ensure if there is any question about anything, we're addressing it right then in that moment, and we're not waiting later. Those lawsuits you referenced, by the way, the vast majority of them were not dismissed based on merit. They were dismissed on clerical errors. And if you go back and look at that election, let's just be honest,
Facts. She didn't know that, did she?
Everybody watching this understands that was a very different, very unique election. Laws were changed state by state illegally. It's the state legislature that decides the voting laws in each state. That didn't happen, and it was because of COVID-19. You had poll watchers who had to stand across a room and couldn't even see anything going on. You had massive information coming out that people just said, I don't understand what's going on here, and we never got answers to that. We're trying to rectify that right now, and we are hoping that 2024 is the year, and going forward, that people trust our electoral process once again, and is our number one focus.
I want to say that there were more than 60
This is the malfunction. Look what happens at the. This is great. Watch. She malfunctions, and then look.
cases that weren't clerical issues. And what the thing that people need to understand is that if there was widespread fraud, as the former president still claims, he would have had to give evidence. And no judge saw evidence. His own attorney general didn't see evidence of that fraud.
They cut the interview. They cut it. And then they cut it. Dude, these people are just, they think you're stupid. You don't hate them enough. You don't hate them enough. And if you think that this election is going to have, we're going to keep maintain our election integrity, this is ridiculous. Like, she just malfunctioned when got presented with the facts and they had to shut the interview down and cut it off. So, that's it for today, guys. Please subscribe and like. I'm begging you because, I'm hurting over here. And stay informed. Share the video.